Hey everybody, this is the Review Revolution coming at you with the next in the DC Universe Wave 8 collection, and that is Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate being figure number 2, but as you probably know, just like the waves themselves, I don't like doing them in order, so I'm just going down the line. Mr. Terrific we've already done, Vigilante was last, got Mr. Terrific up next, Hawk Girl, Parademon, Gentleman Ghost, and Commander Steel. As I said, together, now with the right arm, we'll have a complete Giganta. Oh, that's going to be sweet. That's going to be really cool. Dr. Fate, a little on his biography. Dr. Fate arrives when the Lord of Order, known as Naboo, bestows his sorcerous knowledge, as well as his magic helmet, amulet, and mantle, to a human host in order to battle the force of chaos. Once a human dons the garb of Dr. Fate, Naboo's personality assumes control of the human host. Dr. Fate, in his many incarnations, has long served the Justice Society of America as one of the most powerful members. So, not any one guy, really, just kind of sort of like a Spectre. You know, he actually has different, human personas. His first appearance was More Fun Comics 55 in 1940. Real name, none. Of course not, because he's more of a spirit. Occupation, agent of the Lord of Order. So I guess him and the Guardians of the Universe get along well. Base of operations, various. Special abilities, levitation and flight. Possess and command mystic amulet, helmet, and mantle of Naboo. Able to cast powerful spells, nearly invulnerable. So he's actually pretty cool. I have to admit, I was not a big follower of Dr. Fate. But then after the amalgam, which for those of you who don't recall, back in the 90s, Marvel and DC actually kind of paired up to do a cross-arcing story in which you actually got to vote between various matchups. It was Wolverine versus Lobo, and Batman versus Captain America, Superman versus the Hulk. And at your local comic store, you would actually fill out a ballot to decide who won. The big story in that being that there were the two universes, one would be destroyed, and the heroes would have to fight to decide who would be the surviving universe. Well, during the course of the story, to save both universes, they were bonded together to create the amalgam. And again, I wasn't a big fan of Dr. Fate until I saw his amalgamized character, which combined him, Dr. Fate, Doctor Strange, and Professor X. And that story was actually really cool, and that's what kind of got me interested in Dr. Fate and kind of, his backstory and his history. So for anyone, in the 90s who was reading comics, anybody who might be interested in the idea, go back, kind of look into it. I mean, there was the Iron Lantern. I think he came later. There was a Dark Claw, who was the Wolverine Batman amalgam. Sparrow was his sidekick. That was the Robin Jubilee cross. So really, really great characters. I love how they kind of combined them and what we got out of it. It's a shame it was such a short-run thing. But yeah, that's kind of what really got me interested in Dr. Fate. So I have to say, basically packaging, same for the DC Universe, Wave 1 through 11, no big changes. But we'll take a moment, we'll pop them out of the pack, take a look, have some fun. Be right back. Okay, so, we're back. Hey everybody. Alright, so we're back. And we've got Dr. Fate out of his pack, so we actually get a look at the figure. Now, this is not this is the official version, the one that's actually featured on card, not the variant with the gold plastic. Because as I mentioned before with Nova, whenever you're working with gold plastic, it does have a tendency, unless it's done very carefully, where you'll see swirls and lines and pores for how the plastic poured into the mold, and it just comes out looking it just doesn't come out looking as nice. I mean, I like the gold paint, I like the idea of it. It's just I've very rarely seen it done very well. So I got the chance to get both, and I just picked up this one instead. Taking a look at Dr. Fate, though, really, beyond the cape, which is actually a really nice cape. I like the brown wash in the recesses, the shadow that it gives. I like how it kind of folds over itself near the top, as well as how it comes around the front, leads into the collar, and then his amulet. Actually, that's really nice. It's a really nice cape sculpt. But except for that sculpt, and of course being an original head, for the most part, this is just a standard, male one-piece bodysuit. From the boots, the glove, the torso, the hand. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm not usually a big fan of open hands in this way because they can't really hold anything. But in this case, Dr. Fate is a spell tosser. So the idea of him being able to have this hand open and, give a pose as though he's projecting some kind of spell or energy out at you or at the enemy, I think it works. I think it works pretty well, actually. It looks really good. And in just a moment, you can see how it works with his accessory. But for the most part, nothing new here. The head is on a ball. It does have a little bit of an up and down, but really not much because of the bell-shaped helmet. Got a twist at the head. The shoulder comes out, turns, bicep, elbow, wrist. Really nice. It's got kind of a loose crunch and a loose waist, so that's kind of a downer. His leg does come up and out. Twist at the thigh, knee, and foot. So, again, because there's nothing really new in the body sculpt that was used, there's not really anything new in the articulation that we get. With his accessories, the first one is the projected ankh, the fiery ankh. That's kind of iconic for him, at least in all the ways I've seen him. And it does just kind of plug onto his fingers like so. So you can have him kind of throwing a spell out at you. Now, just like the Green Lantern, for something like this, when I see something like this, I always want there to be more. I always, when I see them do this, I keep thinking, do more. Give me more of that. I want more. So, maybe down the road we'll see some type of accessory pack on it, more Green Lantern constructs, more spell constructs, just things that you'd be able to use to accessorize your figures a little bit more, because he actually looks really cool with it. I do like it. The other accessory comes with is the right arm of Giganta, which is actually really nice. I'll talk more about, my individual impressions of it as we put her together. But, yeah, she looks really, really good just for an arm, I suppose. But this has been the Review Revolution, taking a look at the DC Universe Wave 8 Dr. Fate figure. Rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. Let your friends know we're still on our race to 1,000 subscribers. At 500, we're going to go ahead and do the drawing for the DC Universe Wave 10 Joker and Batman. So I still have that up on my channel. So watch that video and get your friends to subscribe. I look forward to reading your reviews and doing more. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.